Sunderland are going to get Champions League or at least European places. And in today's video, we're going to be getting into that and much more. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So starting off with Sunderland, they beat Newcastle 1-0 after an incredible own goal by Voltemada. And I'm not being funny, if you haven't seen that, make sure to go and see that, because the header is actually a really, really good finish, but it's just a shame it's in his own net, and he probably thought he's shooting the other way. But yeah, he beats Aaron Ramsdale's in net. But Sunderland, they just looked like they had more fight than Newcastle. Sorry, my dog just being an idiot. But as I was saying, Sunderland, they looked like they had more fight than Newcastle, and it was at the Stadium of Light, and they've turned that into a fortress this year. And as it stands, Sunderland, they're only 2 points off the Champions League places. Sorry. Caesar, stop it. Stop. He's just trying to get all the Christmas stuff. Anyway, as I was saying, Sunderland, they're only 2 points off Chelsea, who are currently sat in 4th place. And if you're thinking about it, Sunderland, they've come up, and a lot of people thought they were going to go down, but from my point of view, I thought the players who they've brought in the season, like brought in Granit Xhaka, and he's a solid midfielder. He just won the league with Bayer Leverkusen not so long ago, and is a class midfielder for Arsenal. And even just him alone, that signing, he just has a massive role and impact in the club, because he's a leader at the end of the day, and the players who are there who are not as experienced as him, he can sort of drag them through tough times. And a derby is Granit Xhaka's favourite game. And at the end, like the last 2 minutes, he cut his eye, but still he played on because he's hard as nails. And just having him in the dressing room just must give Sunderland such a massive boost. And realistically, I think they might actually just miss out on European football, because even against the big teams, they're competing and they're actually getting results. And if you look at the league table now, like I said, they're 2 points behind Champions League spots. So it is capable that they might actually even get into Champions League spots for some point in this season. And you have to also talk about Man United, because they're 2 points off Chelsea. And if they beat Bournemouth tonight, we go in the top 4. So it's not out of the equation that Man United will finish in the Champions League spots. And I think from the start of the season, if you're a Man United fan and you're watching the start of the season, you take this position at a minute, because they weren't great at the start. But it seems like Amarim's got them sort of clicking at the minute. And I'm not getting ahead of myself, because it's Man United. It won't last for long. We still haven't won 5 on the bounce. Back-to-back games in Premier League, that is. And that guy still hasn't cut his hair yet. But it is looking better. And hopefully we can keep this vein of form and finish in the Champions League spaces. But one team what has stood out massively for me so far this year is Aston Villa. And they are only 3 points off the leaders at Arsenal at the minute. And if you remember back to the start of the season, they didn't score in 5 games, and they were in the relegation spots, even bottom of the table. But it's just remarkable what Emery has done with that Villa team. And Morgan Rogers, he's an unreal player at the minute. He's in such a good run of form, and he's been a key player. But it just looks like the whole squad is playing together, and they're just getting results week in, week out. Even at West Ham, they went 1-0 down, then 2-1 down, and then Morgan Rogers steps up, scores 2 goals, and then they end up winning 3-2. And if you're looking at it from an Arsenal point of view, I'd be quite nervous as an Arsenal fan, because now you've got Man City with 2 points behind you. That gap was massive at one point earlier on in the season, but now it just closed down. And even with Aston Villa, they're 3 points off. So it's 2 teams breathing down Arsenal's neck. And I don't think Arsenal can keep this up, and because they're at a bit of a rough patch at the minute, and I think they will bottle it again. And that will ultimately lead, to my opinion, in Mikel Arteta getting the sack. And I don't know what you guys think about that, because he's had long enough to try and win Premier League. And yeah, he's won an FA Cup, but he has to win. He actually has to, at this stage, to win the Premier League or the Champions League to keep his job, in my opinion. But when you look at that, who you're going to get in, Xabi Alonso looks like he's under a lot of pressure at Real Madrid at the minute, because they've won 2 out of the last 8 in La Liga, I think it is, and they're just not in a good bit of form at the minute, because the front line just aren't connected and it's very disjointed. And Mbappe's getting isolated. So yeah, it's like, who do you get in if you sack him? But it's a long way to go yet. But I think they are not going to win the Premier League this year. And Villa, they will definitely get Champions League football. Definitely. So let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think Sunderland can get Champions League? Maybe. Maybe it's a bit of a push. But Man United, they will definitely get in the Champions League spots. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next one. So as I've been talking to you guys, this is what I've had to be putting up with all the time I'm speaking. This absolute clown chewing the back of my chair. What would you like to say? Eh? He says subscribe and like.